Right, I'm going to try and keep this one as short as possible, but basically what I'm going to show you today is how to build a score system for your skill game. I've got two examples here. I will show another example as well. The first one, I've already set it all out. And basically what we've got here is a player event trigger set to flip, which is then going to a set value event, which this number is purely up to you. So however you want, however much you want it to increase by. So this is a set value event which is attached to a variable data source. So essentially what's going to happen is every time the rider flips, let's put out a ramp quick. Every time the rider flips, it's going to increase the score by 1. Now to get it as the primary score, we go into game mode settings, skill game obviously, and here primary score, secondary score, counter 1, 2 or 3, depending on however many different score systems you've got. So we're using the primary one for this. Basically type is your data source, placement and visualization is all down to you, maximum, minimum, same again. Descending means a higher score is better, ascending means a lower score is better. Form, you're going to want generic. Label, whatever you want. For this we're going to use flips because that's what it is. And set value target, and it's on this data source. So you want it like that, so it says primary score. Or it might say secondary score, counter 1, counter 2, so on and so forth. Now if I test the track, let's do a little flip here, it increases by 1. Pretty straightforward. It's probably the easiest way of doing a scoring system. The easiest score system. Let's delete that now. Now we'll move on to this. It's a little bit more complex, but it's not hard to work out. It's not hard to do. This is going to judge, or this is going to determine distance. So what we've got is an interval trigger set to 1 tick attached to a game condition filter. It's set to game started, and then in this filter on true event it goes to a set value event which is set to, it doesn't matter about that actually because that's going to be changed in a minute, but that goes to your variable data source. And then over here we've got the distance operator set to driving line and a 2 input operator. So how you hook all this up, in your 2 input operator, as you probably see on it, operand 1 goes to your data source and operand 2 goes to your driving line. Just hit Y on that and attach them. Then in your set value event, your value, hit Y on that and attach it to the 2 input operator. But that's not just going to get your distance right there. Just got a few more adjustments to make. Personally I would use a custom collision, set it to wherever you want, and then in your distance operator your first source will be the custom collision, your second source will be the bike or rider, whatever you're trying to get at, whether it's bailing out or riding the bike. And you'll see this has a number, it's changed, and that's because of this. So what you want to do is you want to take it down till it gets to 0, and then just pop it down using the right analog stick. Now depending on where your bike's situated, mine's on the ground, so I can either take the size right down or I can just go into advanced physics and set it to no contact response. So now, oh no, sorry, we're not done yet. Almost forgot. We've got to set it as the primary score or secondary score, however you want. So in your primary score, you're going to want data source. All of this is up to you. Format, distance, and then you're going to want however high this, but it's all down to you really. yeah, distance for this, or length, height, whatever you choose, and then set value, target, variable data source. So now that's the primary score, and you'll notice now whenever I move the bike, so I'm still right now, so it's at 0, but as soon as I move forward, that will start going up, and it'll keep going up and up. Right, the last example is pretty similar to the first one, but I'm going to show it anyway because, you know, there's so many different examples that I won't be able to show them all. But if you find that you still having trouble with your skill score system, and I haven't covered it, or you can't work it out yourself, just let me know and I will try and help you out with that. But we're going to load up a track here, this pumpkin shootout. Right, so basically, I know there's a lot of stuff here, but ignore the most of it. This is a first person game. It's a little simple game I made when the DLC first came out, just to get something out really. Basically what it's about, you've got a gun and you've got to take out all the pumpkins in the quickest time. Now it does look a bit hectic, but all of these are the same for each pumpkin. Basically what happens is it plays a sound and sets an effect off, which is a orange water splash. But you notice on the top of every single one of these pumpkins there's a set value event, and here is the hit trigger. So whenever the bullet hits the pumpkin, it will first off by making it invisible, then it will play the sound, or this will all happen at the same time, but this is just the way it's set up. Doesn't really matter about the order of these, they will all happen at the same time unless you put a delay filter in the middle. Anyway, then the effect, and then it will increase this data source, which is our primary score, by 1. So every time I hit one of these pumpkins, we're increasing this score. Oh, we're increasing this score by 1. You only need one of these. I don't really need to show you the track settings, they're pretty much the same as the flip one. But then we've got this here. This is quite handy. This basically means once you have reached the score you want, your game's going to end. And how this works is you count how many, so for this example I count how many pumpkins I've got. I've got 15 pumpkins. So we have an interval trigger here, down to 1 tick, attached to the generic filter, set to greater equals, and then on true it's going to an end event, which is this here. So you start off with setting the comparison value 1, you hit Y and attach it to your variable data source. Oh, and then comparison value 2 is the amount you, or you know, whenever you want it to, whenever it reaches a certain amount, the game will end, or in this case end, but however you set it, on true. So you could have it so once you've shot 15 of these, it will go to a completely different game. You know, you can change it so it would go to somewhere else, and now you're shooting something different. But for this, I just wanted it to end when it reaches that amount. Right, so that's pretty much it. Like I said earlier, if there's anything I haven't covered or you still don't understand, just leave a comment and I will reply. But yeah, that's pretty much the basic of a score system. So thanks for watching this one. If you have any ideas, or if there's anything you need to learn yourself, just let me know as well. And if it's worthy of a tutorial, I will make a video about it. But if it's not, I'll just simply tell you how it's done, basically. But yeah, thanks for watching.